Hey guys, Nay here, and yes, it is still the messy backdrop with the unkept clothes and the unmade face and just getting that video out there. That's the focus now, getting the video out there. So, welcome to Fertility Friday, or Trying to Conceive Friday, or whatever we want to call it. Today, I want to talk about. I'm not going to do an introduction again because I feel I've already done that. I've already explained my situation. I've already done that. I'm going to talk a little bit about what this day is going to be about before I get into the main theme of today. Now, the Fridays are going to be TMI as well. They're going to be very too much information, things you probably don't want to know about me. A lot of my friends from work do watch my YouTube channel, and I don't know how comfortable I feel about them watching these videos, but I suppose being a video that I'm making public on YouTube, I have to just allow it to be watched by whoever, whenever, and hope that these videos one day will do benefit for someone else that is trying to conceive a child and is having troubles. And so I just have to sort of let that go and just, post away. And I've never really had a problem with posting personal videos on this channel. I think the fact that I know now that a lot of my, not a lot, but a few of my friends from work know about my YouTube channel and they have said to me that they watch these videos. Hi to you guys out there. It sort of worries me a bit, but only because I think that it might come back to me in some way. But the guys at work have seen me upset, and the other week, last week I think it was, I actually broke down crying in the middle of the store. So they know how tough it is for me. They know what I'm going through, and if they want to watch these videos, then I'm just going to have to let them watch them. It's just part of letting it go, getting it out there, and being done. But today I wanted to talk about symptom spotting in trying to conceive. And this has been something that has really started to invade my time trying to conceive, especially that 2 week block between ovulation and actually getting my period. For those of you who don't know, who aren't trying to conceive, aren't, in that mindset and are just interested, symptom spotting is basically when you've ovulated and had sex and feel that you are pregnant and you start reading every sign that your body is giving you that you are pregnant and you really aren't. Symptom spotting is something that has really taken over my life, and a few months now I have been telling myself that I'm pregnant, and I'm not. I'm literally not pregnant. And last month was the worst for me because there were a lot of changes that I saw in my body that that led me to believe that I was pregnant. And these were physical changes, not something in my head. These were things that were actually happening to my body that I thought were pregnancy symptoms, but are just not. Is anything from stomach cramps to uh, cervical discharge, which is something like this. This is the TMI part. I had a lot of variations in cervical discharge this month, and every time I researched something, it came up saying that I was pregnant. The problem is when you go into Google and you type in your symptom and trying to conceive, or DPO, which is days past ovulation, it's going to come up with all the things that relate to the symptom that you've written and pregnancy. And there is never anything about not being pregnant because that's not what you're searching. And so in doing that, you're building up your mind to build evidence to the fact that you are pregnant, even though it's basically just from Google search engines and the information you're putting in there, and they're just giving you what you've asked for, which is a positive. And Google is really doing my head in. And this month I said I wasn't going to do that, but I did it every single time, even up to the day that I was pregnant. I was, the week before I started getting these pimples, which I still have now, which is really strange. I don't usually get pimples the week after my period. It's really strange. I don't know what's going on with my body. It is just strange. I was eating a lot of chocolate and I was getting cramps, but I had cramps ever since I ovulated. The day I ovulated, I started getting cramps, and I automatically thought, oh yeah, I'm pregnant. My body is preparing itself for a baby, but really all it was doing was preparing itself for my period. When you research yourself to that higher level of thinking that you're pregnant, the day your period comes, or even like the few days before your period comes, because mood swings, automatically you're not pregnant. And all I had to do was look at one of my girlfriends at work, and it was just enough for me to break down crying. And I'm not usually an emotional person. Like, I don't show my emotions that often in public, let alone, you know, in the middle of a shopping center. But this pregnancy thing has really got me like super emotional, super, high strung emotions. Emotional, crying, 12 DPO. You're pregnant. No, I'm just getting my period. So that's the frustrating thing when it comes to symptom spotting, and it becomes quite an addictive thing because symptom spotting and researching, it's telling you what you want to hear. It's telling you that you're pregnant, even though you're not physically pregnant. And it's so funny. I was thinking like last cycle, and it just really got me thinking how when we're trying to conceive, we are so in touch with our bodies. We monitor everything, we check everything, we test everything. We are so in tune with our bodies that we actually become out of tune with our bodies, and we start reading into things and pushing past that line of being so in control of our bodies and knowing what our bodies are doing to actually thinking that our bodies are doing things that they're not. When you get to that stage, it's really, really hard to get back to just being in control and being in touch with what your body is doing without mentally and physically, or not physically, but without mentally getting out of touch again. It's just so hard to work that cycle out. And so I really need to try this month to not Google search anything. I need to just go with the flow and just not read into things and not get my hopes up, because that emotional high and that emotional low that I get is just not worth it. It really isn't. And I put myself through that every single month. It's no wonder I'm probably not falling pregnant when I'm putting myself through that much emotional stress. And it's coming to the point now where I can't even share it with Josh because I'm upsetting him. And it shouldn't be like that. I should be able to express myself without upsetting him. Like, that sounds really cruel, but I mean it in a way that I shouldn't get myself so upset that it actually affects him. And he's not an emotional person, but he's a very sensual person in the fact that he feels everything I feel. And when I'm upset, he's upset. And it's really hard to be honest with him when I know that it's going to bring him down as well. And so I try to keep it in, and I try not to share things with him, which may sound horrible, but my first priority is looking after Josh and making sure that he is 100% healthy and, mentally sound, because he is the breadwinner for the family. He works so hard to keep our family going. And by family, I mean Josh, myself, and our two cats, because I am a crazy cat lady. My first priority is always going to be him, and it's always going to make sure that he is fighting fit and well, and that he is mentally okay. And for me to do that and not put my stress and emotion onto him, making us both stressed is not going to do any good. It is not going to help us get pregnant. So I need to not make him upset. And I am rambling on now with a lot of info, but I just need to get it off my chest. I need to set down some guidelines, and I need to focus. It's basically been a year now. We started trying to conceive around this time last year, around June last year, after we got back from the honeymoon, but we didn't actually start physically tracking things until January. And so it may not be a full proper year of trying, but to me it feels like a proper year of trying. I even started trying secretly before we got married. I actually wanted to be pregnant while we were, like, when we were getting married. That didn't happen, of course. Symptom spotting is not a good thing, and I would love to hear your symptom spotting stories. Pop them down below in the comments because I would love to hear from you. I'm actually really looking for a support group of women who are trying to conceive at the moment, who are struggling, who have, I just need some support. I just need some people to talk to feel my pain. And the online forums just don't seem to have that personal touch that I'm looking for, and I can't find many Facebook groups, and I don't want to sound like I'm whining on Facebook book. So I would love to try and find a few women in a similar situation because I know there are heaps of you out there. So please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you, and I'm going to finish off Fertility Friday with that. Don't forget to subscribe to these videos to keep up with Mani Monday and Weigh-In Wednesday and Fertility Friday. And jump on over to the Hey naedaily channel for 4 days of crafty goodness on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And that means you get a naedaily video every day of the week. How exciting. I'm going to go now. I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to go make some dinner for my husband before he gets home. Love you guys. Sending out baby dust to everyone. Bye-bye. But look at this ombre. Oh my gosh. It's got like the mint blue, turquoise, a really light lavender, and a dark purple. And I don't think